The Freedom Front Plus's Corné Mulder has come under fire on Twitter. The party's parliamentary chief whip accused protesting students of trying to impose a revolution. In fact, let's just get a comment from Corné Mulder. He joins us on the line this afternoon. Good afternoon, Corné. Thank you for your time. Firstly, if you can just perhaps articulate in your own words what your response to the tensions that we've been watching at the country's campuses is.
Yes, thank you for the opportunity. Well, the fact of the matter is that this situation at universities is not something that happened the last couple of days. It's something that has been coming for quite a while. With regard to my tweet specifically, I did not see the big game last night in Bloemfontein. I was not aware of all those facts, and I didn't react to that. My reaction basically was to what happened at the University of Cape Town last week when paintings and buildings and things were destroyed and vandalized, as well as some of the things that happened at the University of Pretoria yesterday when classes were disrupted and students were denied the right to attend academic classes. So I reacted to that basically. And what I basically said was that our universities are under siege, and the type of strategy that is being used, it reminds me of fascism, and it's also a very radical approach. And it seems to us that the approach is to try and bring a revolution to our universities, but not only to our universities. It's an attack on the state in South Africa. It's a full-blown attack on the whole constitutional dispensation. And my view is that we cannot allow that. We cannot tolerate that. A small minority is bringing this country into disrepute.
Corné, in your tweet, you specifically attribute the violence that we're seeing at the country's universities to the EFF. What are you basing that on?
On my eyes, I can see.
No, but you can't say you're basing it on your eyes. Surely you must have more credible proof than your eyes.
Well, my eyes can see what the EFF T-shirt looks like. My eyes can see what an EFF beret looks like. And I've not heard that EFF condemns any of this in the last couple of weeks.
So, Corné, are you telling me that your eyes are on every university campus in this country where we've had violence break out, and you've seen that everyone behind the violence is an EFF member?
No, I didn't say that. I was looking at television last night. I saw what happened in that classroom specifically. I am a member of Parliament. I see the actions that EFF is taking in Parliament, and we can talk about that as well. It's unheard of that a small minority that represents 5% of the population out there thinks it's in order to disrupt Parliament where 95% of the electorate is represented and would like to proceed with the proceedings of Parliament.
Well, surely at this point it's up to the police to decide who's behind the protests, as there have been various arrests made in these protests. So isn't it unfair for you to lay the entire blame on a particular party?
I did not lay the entire blame on a political party. I gave and reported on what I basically saw. And if the EFF is not involved in any of this, then I'm expecting them to condemn these acts on both sides immediately. We wait to hear from them.
All right, who's behind it, I suppose, is circumstantial. But let's talk about the actual issues that are being raised. You say that people are trying to impose their revolution on us. And what do you mean by that? Who is trying to impose what revolution?
Before the 2014 general election, EFF leadership is on record, and we can go back and trace that, when they specifically said their intention is to bring the revolution to Parliament. And that's exactly what we've been experiencing in Parliament. We've been seeing that in all other societies and sectors and things, as well as now on our university campus. It's not something new. We've seen exactly that.
So do you think that there is no credibility to the issues that are being raised by students? And I mean, let's take them individually. If we take, for example, at the University of Pretoria, students there are raising issues of language transformation. Are you saying that those issues are not credible issues and that they just form a part of a revolution?
Indeed, they are not credible at all. How on earth can we talk about transformation if we end up with one language at university level? Is that transformation? We have a constitution that makes provision for 11 official languages. We have never said that Afrikaans to the exclusion of other languages. We've always argued that all languages should be developed until tertiary level. But at the moment, we are going exactly in the wrong opposite direction. We want to end up with one tertiary language, namely English. Completely unacceptable. How can that be transformation?
Do you feel the same about what is happening at the University of the Free State, that the students there are also raising illegitimate issues over language policies?
I'm not familiar with the situation with regard to language on the University of the Free State. I'm not privy to exactly what happened at that university, and I'm not going to give any opinion in that regard, because there are always two sides to the story.
When we look at the rest of your tweet, Corné, you say unite and crush them.
Yes.
Do you not believe that that's inflammatory language, that on some level it could incite violence?
If you take it literally, yes, it may be so, but that's exactly not what I meant. People who know me, people who know the Freedom Front Plus know that that's not what we do, that's not what we say. As recently as last week, during the State of the Nation address, the Freedom Front Plus was the one party that came with a voice of reason to say that we cannot allow our country to be thrown down and dragged into the mud in the way it's being done.
Corne, in an environment, sorry to interject there, where we're seeing videos of black people come under attack by white people, where issues of race are so tangibly important in the country. How can you say that you don't mean things literally, especially as a leader? Do you see that there may be repercussions for what you're saying?
But why are you only referring to instances where black people are attacked? Why don't you refer to instances where white students are also attacked? Why do you ignore that?
And you raise a very legitimate point, and let's talk about that too. But the fact that you're particularly using the violence, you say unite and crush them, surely in an environment that exists currently, this is not the kind of language that we should be using, whether it's metaphoric or unintended.
Yes. Let me tell you what I think that needs to be crushed. Now, immediately when people reacted to my tweet, I immediately said exactly that. Let me explain what I think that needs to be crushed. In this country of ours, there are millions of people of goodwill across society in different communities. White, colored, black, Indian, Khor, whatever you like. People who are committed to make a success of this country. And what needs to be done is that those people should stand up, take hands and unite and not allow a radical fringe element to destroy the fabric of this country and this state. And I think people understand that. We've been seeing what's been happening in this country. And that's why I say that kind of attempt to destroy the fragile situations of Africa, nation building and social cohesion, that should be stopped in its tracks immediately. I never refer to any individual or any person should be caused harm. That's not what I said.
Corne, as a leader of the EFF and also as a member of parliament, you also have some kind of influence in terms of putting this issue on the agenda through parliament. The higher portfolio committee that has been... No, you don't?
I can't put it on the agenda in parliament because we are being shouted down by a radical fringe called EFF. That's the reality in South Africa at the moment. Not even the president's allowed to speak. That's what's happening there.
So then how
People must understand. People must understand that there's an attempt on the validity of this country and the state and the whole constitutional dispensation. Good people in all communities should stand up and join each other and prevent this from happening in South Africa.
All right, Corne Mulder, that's where we're going to leave it for this afternoon. He is the leader of the Freedom Front Plus's parliamentary chief whip. Corne Mulder speaking to us on the line there this afternoon, giving us reaction to a story we've been leading with throughout the morning, calling for EFF fascists and universities under siege from radicals, and that they're trying to impose their revolution on us. He says that people must unite and crush them, saying that he didn't mean those words literally.